Yeah, what's up, kings and queens? We live. We back again. Around this time, we go to the mirror case to see what sense can we make out of it. Now, before we do that, please like and subscribe, like the live, hit that notification bell, guys, so that when we drop more content like this, you are in the loop. Now, we're going to talk about the mayor trial. Obviously, the title of the stream is Gininda and Baloyi trying to deny us the opportunity to see or to experience the inspection in loco, claiming that the whole hostel has to be evacuated. Before we go to that, I just want to go to the case of those crime intelligence officers, right? I think it's about 5 or 6. I don't know how many are there. It's a lot where they are applying for bail, and then I'm going to take a snippet just from that case so that you can listen to the soberness of the judge and listen to him calling them to order. What you're not going to see here is another one that he did, another, sober judge, sober judge staff. The accused addresses and their application, their affidavits for applying for bail. Some of them were not properly like commissioned, and some of them were not. No, the addresses were not properly filled out. Then he said, I think he's even a Motswana because he talked in Tswana language. He said, "Go tsamaya ke go bona," because he told that lawyer once that it's the first time I'm starting to see stuff like this when a lawyer can really do all the stuff here. I don't want to see that to do. I don't want us to do stuff like we are in a tuck shop. That's what he said. So go and do that, and then the statement was commissioned right there, and then the police commissioning officer came to the accused, the deponent, then they commissioned. And another mistake was committed by the defense. I think it's about 2 or 3 of them that had the same problem. That's when he said, "Go tsamaya ke go bona." Then he asked the translator to translate it in court, the interpreter, in fact. Now, what I want you to listen to is the soberness of the judge and the fairness of the judge. And then I'm going to comment after that clip so that you can understand what I'm talking about. Then you can help me, probably you as yourself, to understand why are we being subjected to what are we being subjected to, what we are being subjected to now.
That's not published as part of the publication for just his safety, and I think that's for his privacy. Otherwise, the risk with me.
That's not going to happen, Mr. You see this document, the charge sheet, his address is already in this document. And that once it's accepted will form part of this document, court document. And this is a public document. And the public has got free access to the document.
As it is the copy.
So,
As it is the copy.
thank you.
Let's stop it right there. I just wanted you to get that part. What did he say? This is a charge sheet. The charge sheet is a public document. That is not going to happen, man, because that lady is trying to hide the address of her client, right? And then the judge says, no, it's not going to happen. This is a public document. We have to have access to it. We, the public. Now, what are we being subjected to in the Rata case? We can't see the evidence. At least we can't see the evidence that's being beamed there. We can't even see the accused. All we have to do is look at the lawyers, the defense, as if they are the ones who are on trial. But look at this trial. Everybody's there. It's being lined up there. Let me just share again the screen. Everybody is being lined up there. You can see that they're not playing games here. They're going to make sure that you are visible to the public. You see, everybody's there. Everybody's the lady there is a bit shy, but it doesn't really help. And then it's amazing that I think out of one, two, three of them have previous charges. So yeah, it says a lot. We are not saying they're guilty. We're just observing as the public. These are the people that we entrusted with public safety, public, you know, funds that are transferred to them so that they can run these operations successfully. But no, it seems like there's some brother for brother stuff going on there, clan for clan, or some kind of nepotism. Because I think these people are being charged with corruption and nepotism and stuff like that in terms of HR administration. This is what I heard. So we'll keep on checking out this because it's interesting to see that at least some people were arrested. But you find out that behind this arrest, there are some political people or some people who these guys disappointed. So they decided, no, okay, you think so? I've got connections with who, so who is at the top, then we'll deal with you. So that's how some of these arrests come about. It's because somebody who was probably part of the clique or who was not allowed to be part of the clique, he decided, no, you guys are playing games. I'm going to show you what I'm capable of. I'm going to show you that I can rat on you. I can, also make your life miserable. The judge is fair there. He's telling us the public document, the docket is a public document. What was Mohane telling us? These documents are their documents. Why didn't Ngomezulu go and access that document that is talking about that dead case that they were talking about of Nongoma? He was mad because Ngomezulu showed them that this case did not even have any of the accused inside the court involved in that case. So they got mad because he surprised them. He came up with a plan and accessed the document on his own. He did not request it via Baloyi. So if he did that, he would have maybe gotten disappointed. They would have told him about these stupid protocols that they introduce when they don't want to be found out. As in this stupid protocol that now they are introducing today, telling us the inspection in loco can't happen because the whole hostel has to be evacuated. Just take a listen to this and then we'll make a reaction after that. Please, guys, like the live, comment, let's interact. Tell me what you think about Baloyi thinking that we are going to buy that story. And then what is the inference being the court has to draw when they're talking about hostel has to be evacuated? Hostel is a dangerous place. So all these people in the hostel are dangerous, are regarded as dangerous according to Baloyi and Gininda. Wow. Let's take a listen, guys. Let's just let me share this tab with you, and then you can tell me what you think. The whole argument between him and Mnisi. And finally, the judge prevailed with some, sensible over. In fact, it's not even a sensible ruling because this thing was actually a ruling. There was a ruling that was made that the inspection loco has to be arranged. But now it's being arranged now the second time. What did Baloyi do? Disrespect Rata's order. Him and Gininda. Okay, let's take a listen, guys.
I want to quickly check. The recess starts on the 21st of July. I'm sorry. The next term
Okay.
starts on the 21st of July.
Okay. So we adjourn until then.
Yes, unless if it looks like Advocate Nis wants to say something.
Yeah.
ngathi uqedile-ke abameli benu futhi babuzeke imibuzo kuba kubhekathi yagininda-ke lana ngaphambili kwinkosi enkantolo-ke bese wabuza-ke inkosi enkantolo ukuthi manje ngabe siyenza ini-ke manje-ke athi khona-ke abofakazi ababili ekumele ukuthi beze-ke la ngaphambi kwinkosi enkantolo lo bazothula kofakazi babo-ke ufakazi oqala-ke ubheli usho ukuthi lona aqhamuka ngaphansi kwalapho kwale nkampani kwenondaba-ke le wathi ENCA mayelana azokhuluma mayelana nodaba lwevidiyo le kade ikhona-ke kalungu ethwala ehamba khona laphayana-ke nange-27 bese-ke omunye kofakazi ulokhu athula-ke isithombe sale ndawo yase-Vosloorus umonaketi.
Thank you, my lord.
Yes, sir.
I'm not so sure whether this is an opportune time to inquire as to the arrangements, as to how far the arrangements are in respect of the order that I requested from the court, the holding of the inspection in loco. That's number one. Number two, the issue relating to the AVL records in respect of the other motor vehicles that we requested them on.
I see. Yes. Mr. Baloyi.
Before he even starts to answer, take note of one thing. Take note that he's going to answer only to the inspection in loco, and he's even opposing that. So he didn't even answer to the AVL. So when they come back again from recess, the defense will again have to ask for the AVL records. You see what he's doing? Then he's talking about money being spent, money being wasted. It's a tedious task. They have to employ a lot of security, blah, 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 and all that rubbish. Guys, let's continue.
Please, my lord, regarding the letter inquiry about the AVL, I think affidavits have been handed up as to the efforts that were made.
Okay.
And the information or the outcome of those efforts. If I'm not mistaken, that affidavit was handed up as Exhibit XXX. Now, as far as the inspection in loco is concerned, my lord, we have let evidence on aerial photos. There was no cross-examination on that. We really don't see what purpose will the inspection in loco serve if no issue was joined with the aerial photo or aerial photos. I mean, serve the same purpose as an inspection in loco. I mean, we saw the area concerned. But yeah, if the defense still insists on an inspection in loco.
Let's comment on that. We saw the area concerned. Who showed us that area concerned? Was it the accused as they had wished, or was it you? I mean, like, let's look at it like this way. You, Baloyi and Gininda, you never thought about bringing aerial pictures of the police stations and the areas that you were committing all these things, that you were taking this accused to, the meetings, the areas that you had meetings with the accused. You never considered that to be something that could be done, right, to help your case. But now that is being requested. You come up with a silly plan and then present it quicker, thinking that when you do that, you are canceling out the inspection in loco. So you are satisfied that the place was seen, but the accused's request was not met. Let's take some more listening to this garbage. This is garbage, guys. Now we're being told about budget.
Loco, we're told that this will be a logistical nightmare and a great security risk, my lord. We would have seen from the aerial photos that there is a hostel across the police station.
So, what are they implying? Let's look deeper into why only the hostel was chosen to be deemed as a security threat. Remember, it was mentioned that these guys took photos at the hostel, and on one Zungu met them at the hostel. Blah 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 was a hostel. Phone ran away. Phone ended up at the hostel. So this narrative is going on. They're trying to show that they're trying to impact plant that idea in court's mind that hostels are risky places, right? They are security risk areas. They are only dwelt by Incabis or stuff like that. They want us to believe that there are no regular families there at the hostels who are just eking out an honest living. That's the narrative that they're trying to push. Why did they just choose the hostel out of all the places that could be dangerous? Why not the prison cells that are inside the police station? Why not mention them? Anyway, let's continue, guys.
We informed that basically that hostel need to be evacuated in total, and security measures put in place there at that particular hostel. It will therefore, my lords, be a Herculean task to arrange an inspection in loco. It should be the last resort, my lord. Hence, we presented evidence on aerial photographs.
Why should it be the last resort? I mean, presenting that those aerial photos was your wish. The accused's wish was not met. So why, if it's not Baloyi icon? In Setswana, we say Kintaya Selomela Kubo. I'm not gonna put it in English because it's really some shit you get sued upon. But in Setswana, it's it's digestible. Look for it, look it up, and then ask whoever you have as your pals as Mutswana. Then they tell you what Ntaya Selomela Kubong is. Problems, big problems. Let's go. Let's continue, guys.
How many soldiers do you need? Yeah. Okay, let's hear it first.
My lord, when I raised the issue about the photos,
Yeah.
it's really actually a shame that this is now being introduced to the court. Because the state, Mr. Baloyi himself, not actually the state, Mr. Baloyi himself said that those aerial photos are not a substitute to the holding of the inspection. Now he comes with all this rhetoric that he's coming up with. And that was a court order. So now he says he does not see a reason why inspection in loco must be held because of logistical nightmares. South Africa is not a Mickey Mouse country, my lord. It has got all the facilities. Unless Mr. Baloyi sees South Africa and administration in South Africa is a Mickey Mouse administration. And I will never say that, my lord. There is no reason, I'm still talking.
Yes.
There's no reason why, my lord. There's no reason why there should be an evacuation.
Yeah. I just want to clap my hands for that. It's about time somebody called this guy to order. I'm still talking when can't you see? Why do you think I'm a boy and stand up when I'm talking? And that was nice. That was nice. Somebody needs to do that. Somebody needed to do that. I really got a real satisfaction out of that. Let's go on. I just want you to grab it for yourself, understand it for yourself. understand also Munisi, what Munisi is saying, and understand that this was a court order, as Munisi is saying. So ask yourself now, why is the judge not reprimanding Baloyi for disobeying his order? Ask yourself that.
Evacuation of the entire hostel. Who said that the whole hostel must be evacuated? Brigadier Gininda himself said the hostel is not in the immediate vicinity of the police station. I'm not inclined to believe what Mr. Baloyi is saying unless there's an affidavit that is presented to court that says that for the holding of the inspection in loco, the whole of the hostel must be evacuated. And why should then only the hostel be evacuated and not all the other areas that are adjacent to that police station where this inspection in loco must be held? I don't want to insult the administration of this country, my lord. The current administration in this fact fought for very fervently for them to be in place. It's a shame when we had something like this from the state itself, that should actually be applauding all the good work that the current government is doing. It's a shame because that indicates that the holding of the inspection in loco will not succeed because of fact that there are no resources. And I don't want to insult this government that I love so much.
Brigadier, you are the head of the police. What should we do? How should we organize this inspection in loco?
So, my lord, I'm going to start here, perhaps just to reaffirm what Advocate Baloyi said.
Yeah.
It is true, and if one looks at the aerial photograph, between the police station and the hostel, there's only a street and an open pavement, so there is a hostel there. Secondly, when you do, for this exercise to happen, threat and risk assessment must be indicated. And we briefly embark on that process that I know as much as I won't go into it. And that is really to protect everyone, the accused, the defense, the state, and the court itself. That is done on that purpose, really, not to ridicule anyone, but just to make sure that if that exercise is done, everyone is safe. Now, you cannot embark, in my experience, my lord, you cannot deploy people and say they are safe if you don't control the surroundings. You have to have complete control of the surroundings in order to confirm that the people inside are safe. Because should something go wrong,
Let's talk about complete control. Why complete control? As long as you have complete control of the area that you are working on, why should you control other areas that are not concerned with your inspection? What happened in that Jocelyn case, that inspection in loco? What happened? Why do these officials of the state and the police make plans and they don't really look at, precedences, things that happened before that could work against them? They don't really look at that. They just do a plan and then they implement it. They don't check due diligence to see this plan will work. Then if this question comes up, how can we? No, they will attack that question once the defense brings up that argument. That's when they say, okay, let's find a way to combat this argument. That's how they work their things.
wrong on anyone, be it the states, the court, the prosecution, or the accused, somebody will have to account. So the state advocate is correct in saying it is a tedious exercise. It is not to say it cannot be done. It will come at a huge cost in terms of deployment, resources, and possibly inconvenience of the people around that area. That is the fact. But it can be done. But as he rightfully put it, if it's a last resort, if it has to be done, my lord, it is what it is. But it's not an easy exercise where you go to one area and people will not be inconvenienced, in order to ensure that everyone that will be in there, including the defense, will be safe in terms of going in and out, my lord. So it can be done if it's the last option.
Yeah, well, if it can be done, well, the defense must meet with the.
You see, this is what I'm talking about. That they always do things and end up defeating themselves. You see, he put up a whole argument, a whole paragraph on argument, and he defeated that argument with just one sentence at the end. It can be done. Then why did you put us through the misery of listening to that useless argument? Why? This is what's going on in the mind of the officials that we are dealing with. Now, Rata, I don't know what happened to him today. He decided, no, I'm gonna be, I'm gonna, certify my order. I'm gonna, make sure that my order is conducted. But funny enough, he doesn't call Baloyi into order, and ask him, since I gave that order last, I think a couple of days ago, why didn't the arrangement go on as as we discussed in court? What happened? No, nothing. You just let him go by. He's preached under the water. Nothing to see here, kind of thing. So let's finish this clip. Then I'll read the comments from my subscribers and the viewers. Thank you for popping in, guys, and thank you for sharing the like if you shared it. Thank you for liking the like if you liked it. And thank you for subscribing if you are subscribed. Thank you for commenting if you commented. Thank you for being here if you just watched. Let's take a little last piece of this and then we're going to the comments and then we out.
State and plan how it should happen. Mr. Mnis, you and
Thank you. I'll definitely do
Mr. Ramsepidi, Mr. Mumalo, the doctor, and Mr. Baloyi, with the assistance of the investigating office. We must plan it and tell us when can we come back here. It is possible to be done before the 21st of July. I'm available. Hello? And so,
As the court pleases,
Yeah.
we will,
I'll be available.
if it's, if it's done before the 21st, we'll
That's
get in
it.
touch with the registrar.
Yeah, quite.
Yes, but we just want to put in record that we reject this unbridled insults of Advocate Nis with the contempt that it deserves.
There it goes again. Those, young boy feelings, those, I don't know, that ego tripping. I don't know why. Ramusipili talked about this. Why are they tripping over useless stuff? I mean, he's not worried that he didn't conduct the court's order, but he's just worried that somebody's insulting him. That's the prosecutor for you. Guys, I think we've heard it. We know now that the inspection loco has to happen, but don't brace yourself. There might be something up under the sleeve of the state. They might just bring up something. They might just come up with something. And then we found out that it doesn't happen again. Then they have to be told again. They didn't talk about the AVL. Did you mark that as I told you? The AVL records, nobody said nothing about it. The judge didn't even inquire about it. But he has these clarity-seeking questions at the end of each cross-examination. And when you listen to them, they're just guidelines. They're not clarity-seeking questions. I mean, it's pitiful. This is what we're dealing with, guys. And then I'm gonna go back to reading the comments. Let me just go back to reading the comments, and then so that I can get in touch with my people. And then Debohoma Uke says, good evening, kings and queens. Yeah, what's up, king? And then Obri Bakang says, sure, king. What's up, my king? And then Mbali says, I wonder if Baloyi will close his case. Hey, Kunzi. Yeah, man, I don't think he will. They are shameful. I mean, even with now people from the crime intelligence now being arrested, we don't know. They are looking at their situation too. That's why they're feeling like they have to drag it. You see how happy he was to mention that recess is coming through? I think that's all they were aiming for the whole of this time up until we came to his. That's why they were dragging the time, introducing photos, introducing all this kind of useless evidence. They introduced that evidence, but still the inspection in local has to be done. You see the time wasting that they did, but they are talking about money is being wasted. Who's wasting money if you are not looking in the mirror? Now, Spiwe Nyawo says, well done, Miss. You are a gallant fight. You are a gallant fight, my man. Oh, okay, let's just put it in, you know. Well done, Missy. You are a gallant fighter, my man. Yeah, I feel so. I feel Missy doesn't quit easily. He doesn't. Especially if he believes he's right, he's gonna go for his thing. Then Mbali says, I'm sure Gininda thought Rata will side with the state. He thought so because they realized that it's been 2, 3 days that this order was made. They appeared in court, nothing was said, and they decided no, that means this thing is done. It will never happen. We are not going to conduct that inspection in look. That's what they thought, but they were wrong. Now, the Wahoma Upje comes again and says they are doing it deliberately because they are cooking together with the senior prosecutor by the name of Rata Mokwatling, allegedly. But now we can see the cooking, man. Yeah, I mean, saying allegedly doesn't really help when it comes to this judge. We can see the cooking live in front of our face. There's no need to dibble and dabble about it. We know, we can see, we have eyes, we have brains. Now, Mrs. Beast says Baloyi was so quiet, thinking he's gonna slip away. Baloyi, all he can see, okay, Baloyi, all can see he's hiding something. Okay, everybody can see that Baloyi is hiding something. Then Rata, wish also the loco can happen because he's scared to be unalive. Okay, Rata also wish that the loco shouldn't happen. Okay, I once said that I believe that Rata he might be scared to be alive. He might just surprise these guys, and in the end, he could just lead them on so that they think that he's with them, and then in the end, he just drop a bomb on them. But I doubt that. I doubt that. I don't know. I'm really 30% on that. If you're talking about 100%, I'm 30% on that. I'm not really 50 on that. Then Mrs. Beast again says JP is also cooking with Malloy. Allegedly. I don't know about JP. We'll see what action he takes after all the misconduct that was committed in this case. We'll see. Then we'll take it from there. Then Spionya comes again and say Rata has no chance because he issued an order he was even prepared to be done on Monday. While Mfinisi will be absent on that Monday marathon. Okay, on that day of the marathon. Okay. Now, yeah, maybe like he thought it would happen. In fact, he was forcing things for it to happen on that day. So that participation of Mnisi in that marathon really disturbed his plans. And then probably maybe just to get back at Munisi, he never really bothered himself to ask about it from now there. And then Spendile Kanyili says Musi and Ntanzi were accompanied by the EMPD police who can still do it. And I think Gininda is also having those EMPD accompany all the time. Yeah. Yeah, they're doing it. Yeah. They're doing it. I'm also, I dig deep. I also see some of their Facebook posts. You can see these guys, the MPND, EMPD guys, especially those who came to testify. You can see these guys are proud of their job. They are proud of. They even call it hunting. Somebody was saying, "I went hunting and I didn't get lucky." So it's probably something like a sport to them to be looking for criminals around the hood. We applaud them if they catch the right criminals. But once you try to force a case on somebody who doesn't have anything to do with that case, I'm not with you anymore. No, I need somebody who really represent, who really represent me, not somebody who's pretending that they represent me while they are sharing money with their brothers that they stole from the crooks. I mean, we don't do it like that. So, guys, I read the comments. I think I came through. I was able to talk about what I wanted to talk about. But just check the judge. I'm going to watch that case of that corruption of the crime intelligence officer. This is one of the cases that I'll be probably touching on every night, whilst this Senzomiwa case is on recess, just to check how serious are they with charging those guys. I just want to see, is it a bluff, or is it just a public show, or is it for real, for real? So, guys, let me not take too much of your time. Let me read this one last comment and then I'm out. Balo is just Sipodlada, my favorite brother. What's up, King? Then Balo is praised for never losing a case. And the judge also clearly shows that he is on Balo's side. Yeah, man. You couldn't have placed it any worse or any better than that. It's clear that. But now the surprising thing is, why is Balo is being called somebody who never lost a case? What was happening to all those cases? I remember somewhere, I read somewhere about Baloyi and the other prosecutors that were there. Let me read this comment and we'll talk about it. The Homa Ukta says, I hope that Ngamani can pitch up so that Musi can see him and show to the defense. Yeah, let's see Ngamani. Ngamani probably will never come there because he knows that he's been sick, he's been sought, so he won't pitch. Now let's talk about this. What was I talking about? Losing the case, not losing the case. Baloyi not losing the case, right? Baloyi and these other prosecutors were said to have been demoted to magistrate court sometime before, when it was around that Zuma era. They were demoted. So I don't know what happened. Something happened. They were now exonerated, or I don't know. That thing was brushed aside. I don't know. But there was that story. I'll during the holidays, during the recess, I'll get that story for you, and then we can read it so that we can understand what I'm talking about. I don't want to be claiming things that you don't see. Anyway, guys, thank you for pitching up. Thank you for popping in. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for interacting. Like the subscribe, hit that notification bell so that when we drop more content like this, you are in the loop. Now let me read the last one, the last comment from Pumzile Siyokwana. Says, better late than never. Good evening, my king. Yeah. What's up, Queen? What's up? I thank you for popping in, but you probably are going to have to rewind and check the live from the beginning. So I'm out. Peace, guys. We love you. We like you. We appreciate your continued support. One love.